Hello, how's everybody doing? I have been a naughty girl. I have been plant shopping. So I thought today we would do just a little bit of a plant haul and I'll show you what I got. So, first of all, if you're new here, hi, I'm Angela with Angela's Midleaf Crisis. Welcome to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. Always appreciate you coming back and watching. So, I went shopping with a friend this past weekend. Yes, this past weekend. We went up to Seattle, went to a couple different nurseries and things. And I've also done some online plant shopping. I have been, I've exceeded the budget for the month for sure. First off, I have this cute little fern, and it's just marked as an assorted fern. And I looked it up last night, and it had some name that I can't remember how to pronounce. But what I loved about it is this beautiful emergent red leaf on it. I just thought that was so pretty. And I don't know if it will always be that way or this nursery had this kind of in a covered outdoor section. And so, our nights are starting to get colder here in the Pacific Northwest. And so the plants are starting to feel the change of fall coming. I'm very sad about it. I don't like the dark. But I don't know if it's changing because of seasons or if it just is this way all the time. So if you know much about ferns and you know anything about this little guy, please share because I just thought it was so pretty. I just had to have it. It was a whole $5.95. So we're starting out on the low end. So that was, and I was super excited about the fern. Like I was super overly excited about the fern. I also picked up a, let's see, where do I have to go? Screen mice. Peperomia. And this one is Cuperata Red Luna. And this one I thought was really pretty too. And I don't really have, I have one cutting of a peperomia that a friend gave me that is maybe a painted lady. It's a variegated one. I'm not really sure. And it's just starting to kind of grow from this leaf cutting. Well, there's another little baby leaf in there. Can you see? Let's see if you can see that other one. There's another little one right there. So she's cute. But I've never grown peperomia, not this kind. I have some different kinds of peperomia, but I've never had this kind before. And I thought they were cute. So I like the little splash of color. It's something different, and I like the texture of it. So I thought it would make a nice little addition to the collection. And this one wasn't very expensive, maybe like $9 or so ish. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on any of the prices. Let's make a done pile here. I picked up this little guy. So this is a mutant Mandula epipremnum. And it's got like super long, skinny leaves. I have a regular Mandula that's on a moss bowl. If you watch the tour, the houseplant tour, I think I skipped it. I think I forgot. There was a bunch of plants on the moss wall section that I think I skipped, and I might have shown it later, but I think I missed it on the houseplant tour. I thought it was on there, but I think I did skip it. Not intentionally. There was a bunch of stuff that I just overlooked when I did the tour. So it's got one little brown spot on here, but I think it'll be, oh, that's the original cutting leaf. So that one will probably pop out. This one was a little bit expensive, I think. It's 38, but I thought it would be a good one to be able to propagate for the shop. So I thought it was worth it. I just think it's cute. That's a little mutant Mandula epipremnum. I got some new Scindapsuses in. If you guys don't know, which if you watched the tour, you have figured it out, that I have been a Scindapsus junkie this year. I've bought too many Scindapsuses. And I added two more to the collection. So I got this one, which is a Exotica Albo Acentia. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Is this going to be backwards for you guys? Well, that's upside down. I get it closer. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Acintya. That's what it was sold to me as anyway. And I think she's going to be super pretty. It's just a one leaf cutting. It was rooted. I repotted it. Um, oh, you guys. So I did this repot video, the pot with me video the other day. I don't remember what day it was. It might have been Sunday. I think it was Sunday. And you didn't see it. No, you did not see it because I don't know. I was all over the place. I ran out of potting mix. I said, hang on, I'm going to go make up some potting mix. I'll be right back. I stopped the video. I went and I made some potting mix. And you guys, I made the biggest mess. So I have totes that I keep different media in. And so I have like a tote with tree fern fiber and a tote with orchiata mix and a tote with kind of a tropical mix with perlite mixed into it. And then some of those I use depending on the kind of plant, like begonias and things that want to be wetter. I'll use just that straight tropical mix with perlite. And then for aeroids and things that I want to be more chunky, I'll add in the tree fern fiber and the orchiata and make it to the consistency that I like, and sometimes more perlite. Anyway, I went over there to get tree fern fiber. I pulled the totes down. I set them down. I scooped up what I wanted into the bin. I carefully set it aside. You see where I'm going with this, right? You think you see where you're going with it. So I set it aside. Because I was being very careful not to spill it, and put the lid back on the tree fern. And then I was stacking the other totes on top. And those didn't have any substrate in them. They just had miscellaneous things in them. And some of them were even empty. So they were just kind of stacked on top for storage. The whole tower tipped over, the top 3 bins tipped over, landed on my desk, knocked over a glass vase that had some heartleaf philodendrons, variegated heartleaf philodendron cuttings in it. That spilled down onto the floor, broke the vase. Then on the floor, there was a couple of pots that were things I had repotted or died. Anyway, there were pots with some dirt in them. And of course, it was like a mud pie soup all over my floor. So I cleaned up that mess. I came back to do the second half of the video. I was all flustered and mad and just frustrated. And so I did the rest of the video, and then I got to the end and I was like, you know what? I'm done. This isn't working today. This is probably a terrible video. I'm not even going to edit it. I downloaded it, but I haven't even watched it to see if it's worth posting or not. I kind of think it's not. And then I discovered that night I had a piece of glass stuck in my foot from the broken vase. So it just was like, Sunday was not a good day, and I just needed to walk away. Just walk away sometimes, Anyway, how did I get there? But because I had potted these up the other night, and I was telling you about the repot with me video. So here's another Scindapsus on a happier note that I picked up, that I ordered from a gal in a Facebook group, and this one is a Blue Albo Salaka tricolor. Isn't she pretty? Look at that variegation. I had a Blue Albo that was half moons, and I paid a lot for it. I want to say I paid like $95. I don't remember how many leaves it had, and this was a while ago, like at least a year ago. And it reverted. I cut it to take props, and every single piece, every single one, they all grew. None of them died, but every single one of them reverted to green, all green. So I really hope that this one does not revert and that it stays, because oh my gosh, isn't she pretty? She's so pretty. I am an Albo sucker. Like anything Albo, it's up my alley. I just love it. So let's see. Oh, I'm missing a plant. Speaking of Albo, I'm missing a Hoya. Oh, no, that's not it. I bought a new Hoya and I don't know where she went. It's not in the box. Well, we're going to have to find her. I bought another, it's a Hoya Polynura outer variegation. And I already have an outer variegation, but this one I saw at a store and it had so much white on the, it had 4 leaves. So a set of 2 and a set of 2. And that second set of 2 had so much white. It was so beautiful that I bought it hoping, oh, here it is. It's right here. It was behind something else. My glasses are good for up close, but anything that's, more than 2 feet out is blurry, so I don't see things great. I think somebody's home. We're going to pause for just a minute. That's my dog. Okay, that's my daughter's dog. My daughter's home. My dog is happy to see her. Can you hear her? I'm sure you can. See if she comes in and says hello. Hi. Hi. I'm making a video. Okay. Can you close the door for me, please? Yeah. Thanks. Take the girls. That dog gets so happy when she comes home from work every day. All right, so this is the Hoya. And I kept telling myself, you don't need it, you already have that plant. You don't need it, you already have that plant. But look at this variegation. Oh my gosh. Now, there's no guarantee that the leaves after this will be this white. And in fact, it's been cut. So maybe it was just gorgeous and they took a cutting. And it does have, I don't want to break it, but it does have a sprout that's coming, a node that's sprouted already. So if this just reverts back, I certainly way overpaid. I don't think it'll revert, but if it goes back to just normal variegation on the outside and not this super, super duper white, then I really overpaid for it. But I just couldn't stop myself because, again, a sucker for the white variegation. So anyway, I just thought she was super duper pretty. Now, I'm not normally, there are some plants where I really like the Aria, the yellow variegation. I always am drawn to the white. Some I like the yellow. I picked up a Cebu Blue Aria, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know there was variegated Cebu Blue. None of y'all have showed me any online yet. And so I saw this online on a plant sale in a Facebook group. And so I scooped this up because she's pretty. And some of you have probably seen my big Cebu Blue that's on a moss pole. I don't know if I'm going to put this one on the moss pole or let her keep her trailing. I don't really have room for another moss pole right now. So she's going to be trailing for at least a while. And then if something, I'm thinking about maybe letting go of my Marble Queen moss pole, a Marble Queen Pothos epiphragmum, just because of space. She's getting pretty big and she takes up a big chunk of the wall over there. Let me see if I can show you her. Right there. There she is. That's my Marble Queen Pothos on a moss pole. She's huge. She takes up a lot of space. And she'll get bigger. And I love her. But I don't have very much room on the moss pole wall to add new things. So I really have to be selective. And behind this other Tycon leaf is my Cebu Blue, regular Cebu Blue. And that last leaf she put out, oh my God, look at that thing. It's a monster. Let's see if I can zoom in. That leaf is just a monster. It went down to 1 fenestration, but the leaf is like 2 to 3 times size, 2 to 3 times bigger than the last one. Like, what the heck? It was not, was it the first leaf after a chop and extend? Maybe it was, but it's huge. And she's pushing another one. There's another one coming. I don't know that I'm going to put her on the wall right away. I think that she'll probably just go in a pot and be a hanging basket. And I'll use her for cuttings for the shop and share the love of this one with everybody because I think she's super pretty. Let's go to a couple anthuriums. So I got a little Doriaki. Isn't she pretty? She's just super cute, I think. Just a straight up Doriaki according to the sticker. But I thought she was cute. And then I got home and I was like, oh, I already have a Doriaki. The Doriaki that I have is a Doriaki silver. And the shape of the leaf on this one is very rounded, like a really full wide heart-shaped leaf. And the other one is narrower and longer. And I actually like this one, I think, more than my other one. And the other one is it's a Doriaki silver, so maybe it's a cross of something. I would have to Google that because I don't know all that stuff off the top of my head. But I thought this one was super cute. She's super duper cute. And then, because I like anthuriums, I saw this one and I really like the dark, dark, dark anthuriums. And this one is just super dark. This one is a Dresslery, which I never know how, if that's really the way to, if you pronounce it Dresslery by HU, which I think I figured out on Google. HU is Ace of Spades, and HU is the initials of the person who maybe created Ace of Spades in the beginning. And I don't remember and probably could not pronounce his full name, but that's what the HU stands for, according to a Google search. But I just thought this was really, really pretty. So it looks so velvety, and I don't know how much of that is going to show up on camera, but she is just super velvety, almost iridescent looking. I am absolutely in love with this one. So in love with this one. And this one was 68, but I love her. She's just a little 2-incher. And she's got 2 little offshoots. No, 3 little offshoots coming up. So she'll be nice and full, or I can divide her. We'll see over time what I decide to do with her. And she's in one of those, it feels like one of those spongy plugs. So we'll probably get her out pretty soon. She's a little dry. I need to probably give her a little water today. So I ordered this one online, and this one is a 2-parter. It's a Hoya Polyneura. Is it Jasminka? Jasminka? It's the Polyneura with the outer variegation with the silver splash on it. And the plant, I bought this on Etsy. And the plant that I originally chose, after like a week, it hadn't shipped. And so I reached out to the seller and I said, hey, it's been a week. Can you give me an update on when it's going to ship? Because it was already past the deadline when Etsy had projected, according to their shipping guidelines, when the plant would arrive, right? So it should have already been there. And they replied back and they said that they had an issue, and the plant that I chose, apparently there was some kind of a watering issue and the plant was in bad shape. And so they said they could send these 2 instead. And the one I had ordered was a pretty long vine with several leaves. So this kind of adds up to the same amount of leaves. And I have 2 rooted cuttings, so that's good. I'm sure that the new growth will, it kind of comes in light and then it darkens up. And so I got to make sure that I don't put it somewhere where it's getting too much light. This leaf back here, oh, she's pretty. She's super pretty. And she actually looks more splashy on camera than she does in person, which is kind of interesting. But I don't know, you guys may not know, I am colorblind. I'm red-green deficient. And so things look different to me than they do to other people. And sometimes photographs and things on camera show better than actually like what I see in person, which, cameras enhance stuff and whatnot anyway. So sometimes I just see things better that way, as we probably all do. But, they got nice roots and I think they're cute. I wish they had more white on the edge. which is why I bought that other Polynura, the outer variegated one, because it had so much white. So I think that was kind of also where I was a little bit disappointed, is I was like, oh, well, these don't, this leaf here, it's got nice white edging, but some of them are just a little lacking in the white on the edge, but we'll see what they do. I mean, they are pretty. They are very pretty. I just want more white. I just want all the white. Okay, what else do I have to show you? Dun, 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 dun. All right, so this one, this is a plant I've never seen before. I've never seen any of my favorite YouTubers talk about it, and there are a few of you who I watch very, very, very regularly, and I haven't seen anybody with this one. And my friend had actually gone to Seattle and had done some shopping and had taken me along to video shop with her. So by that I mean she called me and she said, "Hey, I'm at the plant store. Do you want to see what they have?" And she put me on FaceTime and we videoed. And then I said, "Oh, I want that one, and that one, right?" And she shopped for me. She picked up a couple things, brought them back. Well, this time I went with her. But last time when she went and we were video chatting, she had quickly zoomed by a glass case, enclosure. And I said, whoa, 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 wait a minute, go back. Let me see that one. And there was this plant in there and it was gorgeous, but I was like, yeah, that's too much money. Never mind. That's the expensive cabinet. Move on. And didn't really give it a second thought. Well, when we went there this past weekend and we were in the store and I actually saw this plant in person, I was like, oh my God, I remember you showed me this on video. And I think it has to come home with me. I have, so far, I don't have any buyer's remorse. It was expensive, but it's beautiful. I bet you can guess it's got white variegation. It also had some pink variegation on the new growth when it comes out. All right, so you want to see what it is? It is a Ficus sagittata, is what I can tell online. The label just said Ficus SP, and then I asked the store, and they had to get somebody who knows something, because the growth counter really didn't know anything, to look it up. And so Ficus sagittata, and it does have the pink in it on the new growth, which then I think fades out into the white. You guys, oh my God, I am in love with this plant. And it was longer. It had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so more sets of leaves on it. And I did take a cutting of it, and I should have waited till after the video, because then you could have seen. Well, they're here. Let me see if I can show you the pink. The one, and I'm experimenting with this plant because none of y'all have done any videos on it, and I don't know how to prop it. So Google said just put it directly in soil. So I did a cutting that's just a single leaf cutting. So it's just one leaf in the soil there. Seems to look okay. I did it last night though, so it's too early to tell. And then I did another cutting that had 2 leaves. So I cut the bottom leaf off and buried that node under the soil so that it's got a longer stem and more area to root. Because I don't know if it's really hard, to look. It's not like a monstera or something that has like a super visible aerial root and a super visible node or, growth point. And so I'm kind of guessing here. So I'm experimenting. So this one, I took the bottom leaf off, buried that section, and left a leaf on top. And then I did one more that was a longer cutting, because everything online said take like 6 leaves and take the bottom leaves off and put it in the soil and keep it damp. But this one's it was curly, but it's a little droopy. It has gotten droopy. So that might be too much foliage for, it has no roots. It has nothing. And I'm contemplating taking this one out and putting it in water, because it is getting a little bit droopy. But can you see? Will it show? This leaf is twisted. All right. I don't want to break it either. But can you see on this upside down twisted leaf the pink in it. The top is in the way. Can you see the pink? Oh my goodness. And then let me see if I can get this one to lift up here. Can you see the pink in there? And then I think all of that over time, that pink turns white. But she's just stunning. Stunning. I can't stop looking at her. I absolutely love, 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 love her. And like I said, she was spendy, but I bit the bullet and did it anyway. I'm dripping all over the table. And then I'm telling you guys, I was bad. I was so bad. I have one more to show you. And this one, well, you'll figure it out. Look at her. The type 2 Gloriosum, variegated type 2. She is super pretty. She was a rooted cutting. So she was in moss. I'm trying to kind of turn this. Maybe if I take it out of the pot with the water. So she was rooted. She was in moss. She's pushing a new leaf here. This little lower leaf, she's looking a little rough. Oh, and her roots were probably, I don't know, at least 3 inches. And so I went ahead and took her out of the moss and put her into pond because ultimately that's where I would love her to be. I hope that she'll be happy there. And I have a really nice rectangle pot to grow her in. But of course, it's way too huge to put her in now. And some of you had talked about when I moved my luxurians, which is still looking sad but has not died. It is maintaining its level of sadness. So as long as it keeps maintaining, and I looked at it the other day and I was just kind of walking by and I thought, oh, I think maybe there's a new leaf pushing. So the old leaf is super sad, super wilted, but has not yellowed, has not died. And it's been a couple of weeks since I repotted that. And I'm just crossing my fingers that she hangs on because I put her in a really big pot. And somebody pointed that out in the comments. And yes, I did put her in a really big pot. And I probably should have put her in a smaller pot because I transitioned her from soil and into a really big pot. So that was a lot of change for her. But I really have struggled so much with this plant that I didn't want to change her to pond and put her in a little pot and then have to move her again. Was trying to kind of eliminate that stress. And I'm not watering the whole pot. I'm only watering the little side corner where she's at. And not really keeping a reservoir, kind of top watering her every few days, just giving her a little bit of water so that she's not like just sitting in this super saturated pond and just rotting away. So I think she's hanging in there. But anyway, so I don't want to make any mistakes with this one because it was, quite a bit more money than that luxurians was. And I just want her to be alive and beautiful. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. When these came out, I didn't like them. I did like from the beginning. I really, really liked the type 1. That super chunky sectoral variegation. But I wasn't crazy about the speckling. And so I'm going to put this one back in the cabinet because it's a little bit curly. It wasn't quite so curly yesterday. And so I'm keeping it in one of those little acrylic shoebox containers for humidity because I don't have a cabinet. So I use these little shoe boxes every now and again. And so I dug one out and I've just kind of got her in there, but I'm going to close that back up so that that humidity can build back up in there. Because she's looking a little bit curly. But I think she's going to be all right. Her roots were pretty good. They were like 3 inches and there was 2 or 3 of them on there that were 3 inches long. So I think she'll be all right. And I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I loved the type 1. Immediately from the first time I saw it, I just was absolutely in love. But the type 2, I don't know. It just didn't really do much for me. But now it's growing on me. A friend of mine, my friend that I went to Seattle with, she got one. And I was like, ooh, it is kind of pretty. And then this one I scooped up and it shipped with the Jasminica, the Hoya. And so I saw that one on a Facebook group and I already had an Etsy order in with the same place. And so I just said, hey, if you can ship this together, I'll go ahead and buy this too because I'd already paid the shipping. So I did some damage in the last week and a half. And there's a couple of other things. I got some corms in, I got some tissue cultures in. We'll cover those another day. Like I did some serious damage and am cut off for a while. Let's switch this back. You don't want to look at my paper towel. I did that wrong. Turn that off. Go back to there. All right, sorry. You don't want to sit there and look at my paper towel on the table. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to? Did anybody else get any new plants? Do any damage on the plant account checkbook? Because I did. I sure did. But it's an investment, right? Plants for the shop. You can't propagate if you don't have plants. So, it's just how I justify things. Yes, I know. I understand that it's a lot. Anyway, if you've gotten some new plants, tell me down below. I want to know what you got. And let's see what else is going on. I was thinking about maybe doing some repotting, but I really didn't grab everything to do that. I wanted to repot the Cebu Blue. It's fine in the soil that it's in probably, but the way that it's growing, I think I can cut it, and I've already got roots on this section, so I can make 2 plants and let this one sprout so that I've got 2 vines going. So I do want to do that, and maybe I'll just make that into a separate video because I want to repot this one, probably the Polyneura, because it's in a substrate. It's in just cocoa, I think, and I don't usually use that, so I'm not super familiar with it. And I don't, I like to grow things in a substrate that I'm familiar with because then I know the watering cycle and how long it retains moisture and all of that. I have some corms that are ready to get potted up that are ones I grew. I didn't buy those. Some that I grew from corms from my mama plants that are ready to pot up. So I think I'm going to try and do a repot with me and try again and not have a big giant disaster in the middle of it. And that hopefully will go better next time. So if you guys have some questions for me, put them in the comments. And that way, because that was the other thing is while I was doing the repot with me and I was potting, I had a lot of like downtime in my video because I didn't really know what to talk about while I was potting things up. So if you guys have some questions for me, things you want to know, because I think we're only like 10, 11 videos in so far, so you don't know that much about me. So if you have questions, things you want to know, you can put them in the comments. I don't promise that I'll answer them all, but you can put them in there, and then I'll go through, read them, and see what ones I'm willing to divulge. I don't want to give too much information out on Facebook, and I'm an oversharer, so Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna go. You guys have a great night, and I will talk with you later. Bye.